Now, here we go. This is the rest of it. So, Itachi ended up putting him under the Izanami. The Izanami put him under voodoo, or not voodoo, deja vu. Started seeing shit again and again and again until he could find out what his mistake is in that like timing. He'll be in that infinite loop forever and ever. And that's what he explained to Sasuke before he then departed because he had Kabuto undo the reanimation jutsu. And he was like, okay, Sasuke, I wasn't the best brother and other things, but you know what? I still love you and other things. Hopefully you make the right decision and your life goes better than mine did. Because that's all I want for you at this point. And he's like, okay. Sasuke then goes like, okay, fine. I'll bring back Orochimaru. And Jugo and Suigetsu find Sasuke and they're like, oh fuck, um, you're gonna bring back Orochimaru, the guy that wants your body? And he's like, yeah, it'll be alright. As right now, I'm stronger than Orochimaru. I'm more powerful than him. He could never touch me anymore, like at all. He would die. Um, and he brought back Orochimaru, and he was like, he let him know, and Orochimaru was like, okay, wherever you want to go, I'll take you. I'll follow you now. You're not my student anymore, really. I'll follow you. Sasuke was like, okay, take me to the Leaf Village then, and I want to speak to those four. And he was like, okay, yeah. He used the mask of the Death Reaper, and he brought back the four Hokages. And the four Hokages talked to Sasuke. You know, they enlightened him to certain things. Why is the leaf important? Why does ninjas do this stuff? Why do they go through all the suffering? Would you do what my brother did? In your book, is he a good shinobi? And he was like, and first Hokage told him, he was actually, even better than I. As he went through a lot of sacrifices. Shinobi, you have to sacrifice something. It's not always pretty. And, Sasuke, was listening to all these words and heeding cause to his own pain and other things and trying to, fucking, figure out what the fuck to do next. And he was like, I could easily have you guys destroy this village right now. But I'm not going to do that. We're going to go out there and we're going to fight against Madara Uchiha as he wants to destroy the whole world. There's like nothing, if somebody else is doing stuff, I might as well, help other people out. Sasuke gets to the battlefield, and Naruto's surprised. He's like, oh, Sasuke, you're here. He's like, of course I am, and now, Team 7 was then again assembled. He summoned Manda, and, Naruto summoned Gamagichi, who's then a big frog, not a little frog anymore. And Sakura summoned, Katsuyu, and they were fighting against a ten-tail statue. They come to, and then Obito appears, and Obito absorbs the ten tails. When he absorbs ten tails power, he doesn't have control of himself, and he goes after the people who have the highest chakra, or some of the highest chakra, which is Sasuke and Naruto. He went after them, and he was like, okay, these two, I have to kill them. But Minato was with him. Minato was with Sasuke and Naruto, and he like teleported them away, firing Raji to keep them safe. Um, they were doing that, and Sasuke was like, okay, I'll hit him with, a combined attack with Naruto, Amaterasu, Rasengan, Rasen Shuriken. They tried to do that. They didn't do too much. Then they, combined his Shadow Cloak covered in curse mark energy, and that, didn't do too much either. They kept spamming the, Rasengan, Amaterasu, and eventually, things came out of Obito's back. There was, a little bit there. Naruto was there. Okay, I'll pull the tail beast out. Pulled the tail beast out. Then Obito was, basically almost dead, but not dead. Just, fucked up. Couldn't move no more. But Black Zetsu helped him move. And Black Zetsu was like, he used Rene Rebirth with the Renegon to bring back Madara completely from the dead. Madara was fighting against Hashirama, who was a zombie. And he was like, okay, since you're a zombie, um, I can, you know, put you down, take your chakra, and then I can catch all these tail beasts who are running wild, crazy. He's like, okay, and he grabbed all of them, chained them all up, and then he killed Naruto because he took out Kurama from Naruto. Um, but before that, he killed Sasuke too. Sasuke was like, I'm the last Uchiha alive, and now you're alive, but I'm actually the last Uchiha. You're just the ghost of the Uchiha. You better die, type shit. I don't know how it's really supposed to be around here. This world's only made for one of us. I'm the one bringing us back. You ain't getting brought back. You died already. You gotta stay the fuck dead. And Sasuke tried to do what he could. And he couldn't do shit. Other things. He, and then Sasuke died. Madara killed him. But then he saw Hagoromo. Hagoromo said, "You were the reincarnation of my son, Indra." He had, visual prowess and other things. Madara was one of the reincarnations too. But now he's, playing games like my mother and trying to, like, play games as a 10-tailed Jinchuriki and, like, bring the world into infinite Tsukunomi so they can be fertilizer for a tree that then goes into, other things. This is then Boruto territory almost. But they get brought back with Hagoromo's power, with the moon and sun seal, and then they go to fight against Madara in Ten Tails form, Ten Tails Jinchuriki Madara versus, Seijusu's fast Sasuke and Naruto, and they were fighting. Sasuke had a little eye technique with the Renny Sharingan. He was able to, switch positions with somebody. Madara was like, I want that eye, because he had one eye still. He needed another Rinnegan. He was like, I want those eyes. He said, no. He switched spots. he had a sword through his chest. Madara was like, damn, this boy's playing games. And then they tried to, he do the move again. And Naruto was like, we have to touch him at the same time. And he was like, I know. And then, he got away. And then, Sasuke was like, damn, I tried to use the move again to bring him back to us, but he moved away. Then he cast Infinite Tsukunomi, and the whole world got put into Genjutsu. Then they got taken to another world because Kaguya appeared. And Madara was just used as a means to bring back Kaguya, as that was Black Zetsu's whole plan the whole time, with all of it, the whole, making the one brother hate the other brother and all that. For generations, that shit was him doing that, playing games with humanity, basically, of Naruto. Um, the ninja world for like all that time and shit, so that she could be brought back forth, and she was. And then she, started playing games. She sent them to a lava dimension in a ice world, and then Sasuke got separated from the group so that she could not get sealed away. The Sun and Moon Secret needed to seal Kaguya away. Couldn't do that if one of them is in another world. So Sasuke was taken to another world, like a deserty area, and then they found. Damn, somebody's being nosy on my dick. But Madara, or not Madara, fuck. Sasuke, then got found by Obito. Obito went through all these dimension holes, and he's like, "Yo, there he is." He ran, and he used his move to get the fuck back. And then they were in the same time. same dimension Sasuke and Naruto were. Then they were targeted by Kaguya, and then Obito stepped in the way to take the attack for him, and it's like you guys got to live on and become something. Um, Naruto then fights with Sasuke against Kaguya. Sakura is there, and Kakashi gets double Mangekyo Sharingan, and they start fighting as Team Seven again against the greatest threat, Kaguya Otsutsuki. And they start playing games, and eventually, Sakura smashes her head, boom, puts her head down, and then, they hit her with the Sun and Moon seal and they seal her away. Um, Sasuke then is like, I'll capture all the tail beasts, and, I'll take over. I'll take over the Hidden Leaf, and I'll rule over it, and, I'll kill you here right now because you're my friend. And, I don't need to feel any type of way towards you because you're weak. Sasuke is like, still thinking that way about Naruto. And Naruto's like, you know what? Whatever, we'll have this last fight, um, to, satisfy you. And Sasuke's like, well, I beat you here last time. Naruto's like, yeah, that was last time. And then, things happen and, they fight for a long time, like basically all day. And Naruto and Sasuke are fighting all day, and they fight so much that they both lose their arm. And then Sakura's like, you two dumbasses did that to each other. And Naruto, and then Sasuke's like, you know what? I am still your friend, and whatever. I'll atone for whatever I did and other things. I'll be a rogue shinobi or whatever. I'll be your shadow. You know, you deserve to be the Hokage one day, Naruto. And Naruto's like, hey, it was always my dream, but you're still always my friend. And Sasuke was like, okay, I have to go on this journey to see, and atone for my sins, figure out what I can do for the great nations, because he was a criminal and shit, right? He wanted to like clear his name and other things, and then Sakura too. He had to, plug, her full of a kid and other things, and then he had Sarada eventually, and Boruto's a thing, and we don't talk about Boruto on this channel, son. um, but Sasuke's life was full of ups and downs, and he eventually did get what he wanted to do. He killed his brother, um, learned things about his brother. Then he restored his clan in Sarada. That's his daughter in Boruto. And then Boruto's a thing, but I don't talk about it on here. The other guys will talk about it. Other people who like Naruto will talk about it. They got you. I don't got you with that shit, man. I'm a Naruto guy, like for real. For Naruto, not not his son or the next generation and stuff. But I still like, I watched it, but I still don't. So that's the story of Sasuke Uchiha in its entirety by Darius the Green Angel. Stay cool, corner on the corner.